There is hope for AIDS, and tonight you will hear more about it. Mrs. Maria Papadiadino, good evening.
Good evening.
Mrs. Papadiadino is a journalist, was once an AIDS patient, and says it plenty. She will talk about her fight and will offer you something I've been talking about before, hope.
It is claimed that there is no hope for AIDS and that many people die every day. Anyway, I had a fully developed AIDS conditions for a full 12 years. Had all sorts of disease. I was often somewhere between this world and the afterlife. But today I feel again excellent, without doctors and AIDS drugs.
Mr. Papachristopoulos, good evening, Mr. Papachristopoulos. He is the doctor in today's broadcast. He is the head of the dermatologist at the Evangelissimo Hospital. He is the interlocutor for our discussion. About a month ago, an international conference was held in Athens, the result of which was extremely bleak for all of us concerning AIDS. For example, it has been said that the Greek citizens are becoming more lenient about protective measures. More specifically, these protections are to use condoms during sexual intercourse. Let's call things by their name. Surveys and scientific studies have found that sexual encounters in Greek take a dangerous path towards protection measures. There are more infections. We still have a free seat here. I would like to invite your husband. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mrs. Papadiadino's husband. He has been married with her for 3 years and knows that there's a problem here. How did he deal with it? Let's ask himself.
I've been studying that subject matter since 1984, and I knew that being positive doesn't mean that you are sick or that there's a virus. So I knew that she had nothing.
He began investigating this topic in 1984 when he was studying biology in Montreal. So he knew that being positive does not mean you have a dangerous virus. Gilles presented the other side of AIDS to me. In 2006, it was even more shocking for me to find out there was another way of looking at AIDS. After all that I survived during these hard years, I don't know how. I went through hell. I would have gone blind, almost lost my mind, suffered amnesia, could not remember who I am. I could already be dead without ever knowing that there was another way of looking at AIDS. Gilles showed me that the test I did was unable to detect any virus because the HIV virus could never be detected anywhere. Here is the supplement of the test pack from Abbott Laboratories. Dr. Gallo co-authored this antibody test with Abbott. This test, as well as any other test for such purposes, claims in this supplement, which is never shown to us. We have enlarged the relevant part. Here we have it, under the heading Sensitivity and Toxicity. At this time, there is no accepted standard for detecting the presence or absence of HIV-1 or HIV-2 antibodies in human blood. That was written by creators. This supplement is never shown to anyone. If you ask the doctors to show, they claim that they are prohibited by the government. The same goes for the Ministry of Health. I sent the official request to those 2 years ago, with a request to show us the evidence. When was the virus isolated? Where is the scientific experiment that proves the existence of HIV and that such a thing caused the death of immune cells? So where, assuming it exists, is the evidence that it's caused AIDS?
What matters is what you think about.
I would like to show you the proof of scientific fraud.
So you say there's a scientific fraud about
Let
AIDS?
me show you the proof. Last year the book, Fear of the Invisible, was published by Janine Roberts. She also has published my book in English, as it is time to end this scheme. It shows the scientific first document of Dr. Gallo. She also found the manuscript. Whatever he didn't like, he had simply crossed out, and nowhere in this document is there evidence. It says, despite intensive research efforts, the causal AIDS pathogen could not be identified. He erased these 2 lines and sent the letter to be published in the Science magazine. Currently, 37 scientists from all over the world ask Science to withdraw the first document. It says on this paper that entire AIDS structure was constructed.
At every commercial break, I go out and check the incoming phone calls, of which there were hundreds tonight. What most of them says is, let Mrs. Papadiadimou speak. We all seek hope. An optimistic message that Mrs. Papadiadimou offers to all of us tonight. She is a lady who was infected with the virus and says, I'm alive. She has been married for 3 years and lives a normal life.
I would like to say that I am not an exception or a rare case. I'm just different because I'm talking about it publicly. There are thousands like me in this world who have also stopped the medication.
Why are you talking about publicly? I find that's very daring and courageous.
I never talked about it, and I wouldn't talk about it if I had nothing new to say on it. But since this proof fell into my hands, I cannot be silent. I told myself it's not possible. I want to discuss it with others. We are humans. Should I keep this evidence at home only for myself? The AIDS physicians mainly use the AIDS protocols which are proven to be wrong. Since I know that, I have no health problems. All the proofs shows this. My husband and I would like to have a child. Should I get one? Just because I was once found positive with the test, which cannot detect the virus, and here is the relevant documentation. There is the AIDS protocols that prescribe 40 days ACT for my baby. They have reduced toxicity, they say, but we are talking about toxic drugs designed for cancer
Do you
patients.
have normal sexual contact with your husband?
Completely normal.
Without
No
condom?
condoms at all. Because we know about AIDS. If you are well informed, you are alive. If you are not, then you die.
Doctor,
So
tell
get
us about
informed.
it. With all the respect for the opinions of Mrs. Papadiadimou. And I mean that because she is a solid example. I want to remind her of the great numbers of self-healings, without any therapy or interventions. I could say more, but I respect her opinion. However, I cannot believe that there is a worldwide conspiracy. It's okay to think that some scientists took bribes from companies and did useless things. But to speak of a worldwide conspiracy involving all scientists from all countries, please answer Mrs. Papadiadimou.
Yes, I understand.
Please allow me to correct something has been said.
But it is not a question of
With
opinion.
all respect, no bad intent.
I want the evidence. Is that an opinion? I don't believe anything.
I would like to speak to the audience because it is already late. We have a matter here, a phenomenon if you like. We have a respectable colleague here. She is a journalist for the newspaper Tuwima, and she tells us since when you have been infected.
Since 1985, practically since the beginning of AIDS.
The story is consistent with the time. In 1985, that's 24 years, she was infected with AIDS virus, confirmed by exams. Yes, you're positive. Yes, you got sick. But she's alive. She has been married for 3 years now, has normal sexual intercourse with her husband, who was not infected by it. She says, I'm alive, I'm fine. And I would say that she upsets everything we knew about so far regarding the medical methodology.
If the Ministry of Health cannot show any evidence of isolation of this virus, I will not give my baby any prescribed treatment for something which existence is not proven.
Let's conclude our broadcast. Everyone is now asked to give their opinions on the subject. Mrs. Papadiadimou, I would like to say goodbye to you. Personally, I would ask, one moment please.
Yes, I wait.
I respect you very much and I love you for being that brave person. Think carefully what you will say now. It is the conclusion of this broadcast. What is the message you would like to give to the already infected people, but also to the others? For example, as this too from the problem-affected girls as well as the boys.
I would like to say something very simple. If we do this test, we also should ask for the supplement. It is inside of the test package. They should show for us this supplement. We are the ones who pay for this, the Greek taxpayers. Anything else, just search for it and make your own conclusions. But study that. Don't rely on the information you get because they hide important data. I tell you.
But that is also a reason.
Sure, topic is huge. It's all about information, as you all already
But
suspect.
there is also a danger here.
Certainly, there is a danger. Once you have done the test and it's positive, you are losing ground. Your life is shattering.
I see that you are questioning the medical procedures regarding this topic.
Fully. I also have the oath of Hippocrates with me. He says, "Nor will I give anyone a deadly poison." Currently, the leading cause of death of HIV positive people is liver disease, which is a side effect of drugs. It's not a disease that it's AIDS related. The administered lethal drugs that don't cure but kill. Nobody was saved. We are the ones who pay for it, the Greek taxpayers. So I ask for the evidence. You all asked for more information, didn't you? Why they don't tell us about this? It's about the quality of the information.
Thank you very much. That was the one of my programs that really got me excited.